Greetings, YouTube. I want to take you back to about, 6-7 months ago. There was a pretty strong discussion in the Kabam forums and in YouTube comments as to whether or not magic should be nerfed, because she had become so powerful, especially as an Alliance War boss, that it was expected if you went into a top-tier Alliance War battle, you were going to face off against one, if not a whole row of magic defenders. And if you have faced that limbo, that passive limbo before, you know that you can fight perfectly with a Star-Lord or another God-tier attacker and still lose. Well, Kabam decided to do something to their credit that was genius. They didn't nerf magic. She's an awesome champion that should be left alone. They created Blade, who now is the Mystic Destroyer that we have come to know and love. Well, fast forward to today. I'm seeing in posts and on forums kind of a huge divide, about half and half in some cases, where I see half the people, especially those who have Blade, saying Blade doesn't need to be nerfed, he's great, and the other half saying, and it's usually the people that don't have him, Blade should be nerfed, this is ridiculous. So I want to point out in this short video 3 reasons why Blade should not be nerfed. The first is that in Kabam's post yesterday, and some people have taken this to mean maybe in the forums that they're going to nerf Blade, but I think this is actually an opportunity. Kabam went ahead and said, we know, it's very Big Brother-like, we know that many of you are saving your 5-star crystal shards for a shot at Blade because we know how much time and effort you've put into acquiring shards for the return of Blade's featured hero crystal. We've decided to run his crystal one more time. He will thus be the last 20 to, if you believe the percentage is this high, 25% chance to get a featured crystal with his own crystal before the new complete trash BS featured crystals that they just released, the 18 curated champions, and it's an entire school bus of trash. So you shouldn't want Blade to be nerfed because you should want to get a Blade yourself. Circle February 22nd on your calendar. That is the date that Blade will appear for 2 weeks again in the featured crystals. Do not spend any of your shards between now and February 22nd and get yourself the best chance at owning a Blade. I know Medusa's coming up, and she's great. And if she's who you want, can't argue with it. But if you are complaining that Blade should be nerfed, stop complaining and just get yourself the chance at Blade. Now, let's say you've got no 5-star shards and no Blades in any capacity. I want to point out something. Sometimes I see comments on my channel and they say, gosh man, you're such a tool, you hate Kabam, you're just anti-Kabam. I assure you, I try to be objective, but I want to give Kabam credit where credit is due, and they deserve so much credit for the fact that this month, just for logging in on day 25, a month after Christmas, quite coincidentally, they are giving everyone either a 3 or a 4-star Blade. And if you get the 4-star, he's still going to be able to wreck so much content, even if you're going up against max Sig 5 and even 6-star champions. And so everyone's going to have a Blade by the end. It's not going to be, and this is the third point, it's not going to be like Scarlet Witch pre-patch 12.0. That is an extremely popular comment I'm seeing from a lot of people. They're saying the new Blade is like the new Scarlet Witch pre-patch 12.0. If you weren't playing the game before March of 2017, you have no idea what they're talking about. As somebody who loves Scarlet Witch, and even though I was so sad to see her nerfed, I understand why, she was essentially a cheat code. She's like that character in Mortal Kombat that has invincibility, and somehow if you get all the cheats correct, you can't lose. She had, with the right crit team, infinite regen, infinite nullify abilities, infinite stun lock, and the ability to cause so much damage with her special too that you could essentially clear all of the content of any level with just her. Blade is not that, even though he is undoubtedly, in my mind, the Michael Jordan of God tier characters. There are still plenty of times where Blade is not going to just wreck the content. And my challenge to Kabam is to use this as an opportunity to get the community hyped for a new 2018 champion and create somebody that's going to be the counter to Blade, and I'm just going to point this out because many of you know that currently there's a beta test for both Red Hulk and Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage is almost the indisputable meme champion. He is, by all means, the worst champion in the game, even though he's bleed immune and has some great stun abilities, and some people really like him. But what would happen if Luke Cage, somebody that so many people already have as a 5-star, and he's a science champion, and we need a really great god tier science champion, what would happen if Luke Cage went from the worst champion in the game to somehow the Blade counter? Then a lot of these people who are complaining that Blade should be nerfed probably already have a 5-star Luke Cage. And suddenly, guess what? You've got the Blade answer already built into your roster. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would just be the greatest turnaround of all time for a champion. So my advice to you is really this. If you think Blade should be nerfed, just relax. You're going to get a 3 or 4-star Blade very soon. And if you save your 5-star shards, you could get a 5-star Blade in about a month. And then kabam, please use this as an opportunity to make the next Blade. And guess what? You are so obsessed right now with selling all of those money-making Grandmaster featured crystals that if the new Blade answer comes out, the community is going to throw their money at them. And that's so much better of a public relations opportunity than to downgrade the most beloved champion of the past year. So if you agree with me, comment below, let me know. If you disagree with me, if you're one of those people who thinks I'm a tool and everything I say is wrong, well, please give me a counter-argument. I'd love to hear your counter-argument. I know this is a very divisive issue among the community, but I also think that Blade has so much promise that he deserves to not be touched, and Kabams should have it be their job to make the next Blade the counter. Or, when in doubt, Luke freaking Cage.